Hey everybody, it's Jen from Britical Saiyans here, and today I'm going to be going through the yellow hit deck profile. So it's not too dissimilar to the hits I've done before, but we'll get into it and just see how it goes. So its active main is once per turn, you choose a card in your life out to your hand, then you choose up to one blue or yellow Universe 6 with an energy cost of 1 and play it. So I'll be honest, there isn't many targets for that, but like I said, I'll get into it further. Its awakening is on 4 or less, you draw a card and get an energy back. And you go into time skip it. So, has the auto of when it attacks, draw a card. Its secondary auto is kind of like part of the main idea of the yellow-blue deck. Is when your opponent's lead is flipped back to its front, choose one blue or yellow Universe 6 card in your drop area with an energy cost of 3 or less and play it. So that comes in handy because you just get an extra body on the board to attack them with. And its active main is once per turn, choose one card in your hand, place it in the drop. Choose one blue or yellow Universe 6 card with an energy cost of 2 or less and play it. So yeah, it just keeps bringing stuff back when you keep flipping your opponent's leader, or just for the sake of it. So, not too shabby. As always, starts with the extra cards. They're just negates. So we've got 2 copies of Flying Nimbus. So you probably all know this one. Get the attack, then you can discard a yellow card. If you do, your opponent can only attack one more time with battle cards for the turn. Ideally you do this when their leader attacks, so you only get one battle card attack, but doesn't always go that way. And yeah, it just slows down some aggression. And we have 3 copies of Time Kicker. So again, negate the attack, and if your leader is Universe 6, choose one attacking battle card sent to the warp. At the end of the turn, your opponent plays that battle card sent to the warp with the skill in the battle area of its own. So like if you take something of yours and attacks with it, you can be like bounce it to the warp, it comes back on your side. And it just stops anything that's going to be really aggressive. Or ideally something that can attack more than one time, just like, okay, stop you on the first attack and get rid of you. So, it's best against battle cards. Against leaders, you just negate. And it's like, okay, well, don't get the most out of it, so. But yeah, just there to slow down your opponent. So, into the battle cards now. For 1 drops, we have 3 copies of Carbo, Universe Mediator. So he has the auto of when you play a card, look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, choose one Universe 6, add to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So just there's a search power and it's red, so comes in handy for that side of the deck. Yeah, this isn't blue yellow, this is red yellow. And the other one is Khalifa the Bold Sister. Again, it's a 1 drop. Has the opponent of this can't be carried by your opponent's skills. And its auto is when you play this card, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to one blue or yellow Universe 6, add to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So both are 1 drops of searches. Carver's a bit more open on that, but the Khalifa's there for other reasons. So, plus you could play them out with hit, so you could do Khalifa and Carver in the same turn if you're lucky. Going to our 2 drops, we have 2 copies of Khalifa, Troublemaker of Universe 6. And she has the auto of when you play this card, you may choose one card in life out to your hand. If you do so, you choose up to one of your opponent's energy and switch it to rest mode. So this is again Self-Awakener, and it's just a good target for Khalifa cards. Because that's kind of like what the red side does. And yeah, just control of your opponent's energy is pretty nice when you can do it. We have 3 copies of Hit, Ace of Universe 6. So again, 2 drop 10k. He has also Bond 2 with Universe 6, so him and another Universe 6 card. Basically. Its auto is when you play this card, reduce the combo cost of blue and yellow Universe 6 cards in your hand by 1 for the duration of turn. So anything Universe 6 has comp cost of 1, has a comp cost of 0. And he's mostly in there because he's a 2-drop yellow hit, which comes in handy for our 5-drop. So it's just another target. Speaking of which, we have 4 copies of Hit After Image Master. So he's 2-drop 9k this time. He has the auto, when you play this card from your hand, your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand and sends it to their warp. So a little bit of hand disruption, never hurts. But it's only from hand, so you can't just do like the leader's ability to play one out from drop, or his secondary ability doesn't tie in with it, which is active main. You send this card to its owner's warp. At the start of your next main phase, if your leader is a yellow universe 6, play this card into the battle area from the warp, basically, so it just protects himself. And yeah, because his auto states from hand, you can't just like bounce it, come back, warp another card, bounce it. You get the idea. Can't do that. That's a bit dirty. So our next 2 drops, I'm just going to show you together because they are super combos. So we have a 2-2 split of Magata, Defender of Universe 6, and Junior Attack Botama and Magata. They both work exactly the same way. So when you come with this card, if your leader is Universe 6 and your life is at 5 or less, you draw a card and this gains 10,000 common power for the duration of turn. I've literally just done 2-2 split because one's yellow, one's red. I've done it the other way around with pointing. So yeah, one's red, one's yellow. It's just there in case you need to charge. And yeah, otherwise they're exactly the same. So I'm just trying to keep an even split when I do dual NG. Or dual colour. So next is our 3 drops. So to start with, we have 4 copies of Dimension Leaper Hit. So it's a 3-drop 15k power, and it has the active main of send this card to the warp. At the beginning of your next turn, if your leader is Universe 6, you play this card into the battle area of its owner. So again, another hit that bounces itself. Just a good evolution target, and it's a nice bit of aggression for the deck. And our next 3-drop is 4 copies of Hit Space Time Transcended. So it's 3-drop 19k power this time. And he has the active main of pay 2 red and 1 other energy. Choose up to 1 red hit in your drop or warp with an energy cost of 6. Evolve it into on top of this card, and you can't play another red hit with an energy cost of 6 for the duration of turn. But basically, you can play that out from your drop or warp. And then it triggers and yada yada yada. But it's just good because it's got 19k and it's Universe 6, so it's easily searchable. And yeah, it brings out our big guy. So that's fun. Next, going into the 4 drops, we have 3 copies of Bold Super Saiyan 2 Khalifa. So it's evolved for 2 red and 1 colours on top of a Khalifa, which is why we have so many of her. And its auto is when you play this card, look up to 7 cards from the top of your deck, choose 1 Universe 6 with energy cost with a power of 15 or less. Don't know why I went for energy cost there. Play it, then shuffle your deck. So you just get a body on the board. Ideally you target a hit to evolve in on top of it, but if not, you just get another bit of aggression. And it's why we have so many Khalifas, because we want targets for this to evolve on top of. Speaking of Khalifa, we have 4 copies of Khalifa Resilient Sister. So it's 4-drop 10k, and she has the permanent of, if your opponent has 6 more cards in rest, you can play this card from your hand without paying its energy cost. So provided you can put loads of stuff in there in rest, or they have like 4 energy, just run the lead, just run the back card, you can just spam these out and then evolve on top of them, or just use them for aggression. That's all she's there for. Again, just something easily spammable. And finally, in our 4 drops, we have 4 copies of Foreseeing Hit. So he's got 20k in Double Strike, and the auto of when you play this card from your hand, your opponent reveals their hand, you choose up to 2 battle cards with 35 or less power from there and send them to their warp. At the end of your opponent's next turn, return the card sent to the warp to their hand. So it's a good way to get cards out of the hand. Way to get around like they're trying to play their end game cards, just like no, get rid. And of course, once you've taken 2 cards out of the hand, you can just start double striking. So very much aggressive. That's another hit. So moving on now, we have our 5-drop, which is 4 copies of Hit, Pride of Universe 6. Pride of my deck, so I have like 3 different versions of him. So this guy's a wordy one. So he has EX Evolve for 2 yellow and 1 other energy on top of a yellow hit with an energy cost of 2. He has dual attack. His auto is Bond 2 with Universe 6. When a card evolves into this, if your leader is a yellow Universe 6 card and you have 4 more energy, flip your opponent's leader card to its front. If you do, your opponent cannot activate their leader's Awaken or Wish skill until the end of their next turn. So obviously you play this out, you flip the leader back over, this guy can trigger doing his auto to play something out from the drop. And there you go, that's how you kind of like try and kill them. And then its active main is once per turn, you choose up to 1 of your opponent's back cards, negate its skill for the duration of turn, and send it to its owner's warp. At the end of your opponent's next turn, you play that card from sent to the warp by this skill in the battle area in rest mode. So it's a good way to get rid of something, and because it negates their skills, I believe you can get around barrier, which is pretty good. But yeah, just getting rid of something is always handy. And finally in our deck we have 3 copies of our 6-drop Lightning Fast Hit. So he has 25k power, he's evolved for 3 red and 2 colours on top of any hit, which means any of our battle cards have hit in their name. He has double strike and the auto when the card evolves into this card, inflict 2 damage to your opponent. So if they survive like a turn of this and you've put them on 1 or 2 life, you can just play, okay, my next turn I'll evolve on top and just kill you that way. It's kind of just a win con if all else fails, and a 25k beat stick doesn't hurt if it doesn't kill them. So, but there you go guys, that is my hit deck profile. So as always, leave your thoughts in the comments, we love reading them, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!